The massive research vessel of the Zorn Collective hung like a crystalline shadow against the backdrop of Earth's azure atmosphere. Its hull, a masterpiece of geometric precision, stood in stark contrast to the organic, seemingly chaotic planet below. Lead researcher Kix7 adjusted the neural interface, filtering through the cacophony of human communications that bombarded their advanced sensory systems. Preliminary scan complete, announced the junior researcher, their voice a melodic blend of mathematical tones. Biological diversity is uncomfortably high. Technological development appears inconsistent. Kix7's secondary sensory cluster pulsed with curiosity. Inconsistent was an understatement. Most civilizations they had encountered followed predictable patterns of technological and social development. Humans defied every known model of progression. The first anomaly became apparent in their communication patterns. Unlike the structured, purpose-driven transmissions of other spacefaring species, human communications were a turbulent ocean of information. Music intertwined with news reports. Scientific discussions mixed with entertainment broadcasts. Emotional expressions ran parallel to logical discussions in a way that made no sense to the Zorn's computational understanding. A particular transmission caught Kix7's attention. It was a recording of what humans called a motivation speech, delivered by a young woman at what appeared to be an educational institution. The researcher isolated the audio, running it through multiple translation and contextual analysis algorithms. "We don't just inherit the world from our ancestors," the speaker said, her voice resonating with an intensity that defied logical communication protocols. "We borrow it from our children. Every challenge is an opportunity. Every limitation is a chance to redefine what's possible." The translation algorithms struggled. Words like possibility and potential didn't have direct equivalents in the Zorn language. They represented concepts that existed beyond measurable parameters. Analyze the speaker's physiological responses, Kix7 instructed the junior researcher. The holographic display lit up with a complex web of data, heart rate, brain activity, muscular tension. But the truly fascinating element was how these physical indicators seemed to synchronize with the emotional content of her speech. Another transmission caught their attention, this one from a place called Mission Control. A group of humans were guiding a small mechanical probe across the surface of a distant planetary body. The communication was a blend of precise technical language and what could only be described as emotional support. "Come on, little buddy," one controller said, her voice a mixture of scientific precision and what seemed like genuine affection for an inanimate machine. "You've got this." The Zorn researchers exchanged confused neural signals. Emotional attachment to a mechanical device, personification of technological tools was inefficient, and yet the data suggested this approach somehow improved the probe's operational success rate. Deep scans of human historical records revealed even more perplexing patterns. Unlike other species that followed linear paths of development, humans seemed to progress through a series of unexpected leaps. They would face seemingly insurmountable challenges: environmental destruction, global conflicts, technological limitations, and then suddenly transform these challenges into opportunities for growth. Their technological development was particularly bizarre. While most species developed technology through careful, incremental research, humans appeared to innovate through a combination of individual creativity, collaborative effort, and what could only be described as audacious imagination. A database search revealed countless examples: inventions created in small workshops, revolutionary medical treatments developed by teams working across different disciplines, solutions to complex problems emerging from unexpected collaborative networks. Their entire civilization appears to be a continuous improvisation, Kix7 noted, sending a neural annotation to the research log. No single model can predict human behavior. They operate beyond traditional strategic frameworks. The junior researchers' sensory clusters vibrated with a mixture of confusion and excitement. Should we classify them as a potential threat? Kix7 paused. The traditional Zorn response would be to categorize any unpredictable species as a potential risk, but something about humans defied such simple classification. No, they finally responded, we need to understand them completely. As if in response to this decision, another human transmission burst through their communication systems, a piece of music that seemed to simultaneously express joy, pain, hope, and defiance. The Zorn researchers realized their mission had just become far more complex than a simple planetary survey. The Zorn research team spent weeks analyzing what they called the human adaptability anomaly. Their advanced computational systems worked overtime, processing historical records, scientific achievements, and cultural developments that defied every known model of species progression. Dr. Elena Rodriguez's life story became their first deep dive case study. Born in a small mountain village with limited resources, she had overcome multiple seemingly insurmountable challenges. The researchers watched her trajectory with increasing fascination. Childhood poverty, limited initial education, and a series of environmental obstacles that would have defeated most species. Computational models predict complete system failure, muttered the junior researcher, rotating the holographic projection of Rodriguez's life path. Yet multiple success points persist. Kick 7 leaned closer, analyzing the intricate web of connections. Rodriguez had not just survived, she had transformed her challenges into opportunities. After developing innovative water purification technologies in her home region, she went on to lead global environmental restoration projects. Her approach combined scientific precision with what humans called compassion, a concept that initially baffled the Zorn researchers. The team discovered a pattern emerging across multiple human case studies, where other species would encounter a challenge and seek the most efficient solution. Humans seemed to generate multiple potential approaches simultaneously. They didn't just solve problems, they reimagined the entire context of the problem. A historical analysis revealed extraordinary examples. During a global pandemic, humans rapidly developed multiple vaccine technologies, shared research across competitive boundaries, and mobilized unprecedented global cooperation. Traditional strategic models would have predicted fragmentation and conflict. Instead, humans demonstrated a remarkable ability to unite under critical circumstances. The researchers isolated another fascinating human trait, the capacity to find motivation in apparent failure. Unlike most species that would become demotivated after initial setbacks, humans seemed to view challenges as opportunities for growth. Their language was filled with phrases that reinforced this perspective. What doesn't break you makes you stronger. Every failure is a lesson. Try again. Their psychological resilience defies standard computational prediction. Kick 7 noted in the research log. The neural annotation pulsed with a mixture of confusion and growing respect. They studied scientific breakthroughs that emerged from unexpected sources. A teenager working in her family's garage developed a revolutionary approach to plastic recycling. A group of musicians created an algorithm that helped predict earthquake patterns. Collaborative networks formed and dissolved with incredible speed and purpose. The Zorn team's most significant breakthrough came from understanding what humans called collaborative innovation. Traditional species developed technologies through hierarchical research structures. Humans, by contrast, created dynamic networks that could rapidly reorganize around specific challenges. One particularly intriguing case involved a global challenge in sustainable energy. Instead of a single centralized approach, humans created a distributed network of researchers, engineers, community leaders, and even students. They shared resources, competed and collaborated simultaneously, and generated multiple innovative solutions. It's like watching a living, breathing problem-solving organism, the junior researcher observed, their sensory clusters vibrating with excitement. No single component understands the entire system, yet the system itself demonstrates remarkable intelligence. Kick 7 reviewed the accumulated data. Traditional classification models would categorize human civilization as chaotic, inefficient. But the emerging picture suggested something far more complex. Humans had developed a form of collective intelligence that transcended individual capabilities. Their research uncovered another surprising element: emotional intelligence as a strategic advantage. Where most species viewed emotions as a potential weakness, humans integrated emotional understanding into their problem-solving processes. Empathy, compassion, and collective motivation became powerful tools for overcoming complex challenges. A detailed analysis of human conflict resolution strategies revealed another shocking discovery. Instead of seeking complete dominance, humans often sought solutions that provided mutual benefits. They could be fierce competitors and compassionate collaborators simultaneously. Their entire civilization appears to be a continuous adaptive system, KIC-7 concluded, sending a comprehensive report to the research database. Traditional strategic models are insufficient to understand their potential. The junior researchers' sensory clusters pulsed with a mixture of confusion and growing respect. Humans were not just another species to be cataloged and understood. They represented something entirely new, a dynamic, unpredictable force of collective potential. As the research vessel continued its silent orbit, the Zorn team realized their mission had transformed. They were no longer simply observing, they were learning. And humanity, with its remarkable capacity for adaptation and innovation, had become their most fascinating subject. The psychological investigation entered its most complex phase. Zorn researchers had expected a systematic approach to understanding human mental processes. Instead, they discovered a labyrinth of emotional and cognitive complexity that challenged every preconceived notion of intelligence. Dr. Marcus Chen's research file became their primary focus. A psychologist specializing in human resilience, Chen had dedicated his life to understanding how individuals overcome trauma, transform personal challenges, and create meaning in difficult circumstances. The Zorn team's neural networks worked overtime, attempting to decode the intricate mechanisms of human psychological adaptation. Emotional responses are not computational errors, KIC-7 explained to the junior researcher. They are integral to human problem-solving strategies. The most striking discovery emerged from studying human responses to adversity. Where most species would become paralyzed by significant challenges, humans demonstrated an almost paradoxical ability to find hope and motivation in the most difficult circumstances. They didn't just survive, they sought to create meaning from their experiences. Detailed analysis of human support systems revealed a complex network of psychological mechanisms. Humans developed intricate social support structures that went far beyond simple survival strategies. They created communities, shared emotional experiences, and found strength in collective vulnerability. A series of case studies highlighted this phenomenon. Survivors of natural disasters, individuals overcoming personal tragedies, communities rebuilding after significant challenges. Each demonstrated a remarkable capacity for psychological renewal. The Zorn researchers found themselves struggling to quantify what humans called hope, a concept that existed beyond measurable parameters. Their emotional intelligence is a form of advanced strategic adaptation, KIC-7 noted in the research log. The neural annotation pulsed with a mixture of confusion and growing respect. The team discovered that human psychological resilience wasn't about avoiding pain or challenges. It was about transforming those experiences into sources of growth and motivation. They studied therapeutic approaches, personal development strategies, and cultural practices that supported psychological adaptation. One particularly fascinating area of research involved human creativity as a psychological coping mechanism. Humans didn't just process trauma, they transformed it into art, music, literature, and innovative solutions. A musician who lost her hearing developed revolutionary communication technologies. A veteran who experienced significant challenges created support networks for others facing similar struggles. They convert negative experiences into positive potential, the junior researcher observed. their sensory clusters vibrating with excitement. It's like watching a continuous process of psychological alchemy. The researchers uncovered the role of narrative in human psychological development. Humans didn't just experience events, they created stories that gave those events meaning. Personal narratives became tools for understanding, processing, and ultimately transcending challenging experiences. Cultural practices revealed even more complex psychological mechanisms. Humans developed rituals, celebrations, and collective experiences that supported psychological well-being. They created meaning through shared experiences, finding connection in both joy and suffering. A deep analysis of human communication patterns showed that emotional expression was not a weakness, but a sophisticated form of information exchange. Empathy, compassion, and emotional understanding became powerful tools for problem-solving and social collaboration. The Zorn team's most significant breakthrough came from understanding the human concept of post-traumatic growth. Unlike most species that would become diminished by significant challenges, humans often emerged stronger, more innovative, and more compassionate. Their psychological systems are not about maintaining a static state. Kick 7 concluded. They are dynamic, adaptive, and continuously evolving. The research expanded to explore how humans processed complex emotional experiences. They didn't seek to eliminate negative emotions, but to understand and integrate them. Psychological practices focused on awareness, acceptance, and transformation rather than suppression. Meditation techniques, therapeutic approaches, and cultural practices all demonstrated a sophisticated understanding of psychological complexity. Humans developed multiple strategies for understanding their internal experiences, creating meaning, and supporting psychological well-being. As the research vessel continued its silent observation, the Zorn team realized they were witnessing something extraordinary. Humans were not just surviving, they were continuously reinventing themselves. Their psychological adaptability represented a form of intelligence that transcended traditional computational models. The junior researchers' sensory clusters pulsed with a mixture of excitement and profound respect. Humanity was not just a species to be studied. They were a dynamic, complex system of psychological potential, continuously adapting, growing, and transforming. In the vast silence of space, the Zorn researchers had discovered something remarkable: the true depth of human psychological resilience. The technological investigation pushed the Zorn researchers beyond their most fundamental understanding of innovation. Where most advanced civilizations developed technology through carefully planned, incremental progress, humans seem to leap forward through a chaotic dance of creativity, collaboration, and audacious imagination. Their first deep dive began with the history of human technological breakthroughs. The researchers discovered that groundbreaking innovations often emerged from the most unexpected places. A garage workshop, a university laboratory, or even a casual conversation could spark technological revolutions that transformed entire fields of knowledge. Dr. Rebecca Kim's story became a pivotal case study. Working in a small research center with limited resources, she developed a revolutionary approach to environmental restoration technology. Her method combined biological engineering, computational modeling, and an intuitive understanding of ecological systems that defy traditional research methodologies. Computational models cannot predict this level of innovative potential. The junior researcher noted, rotating a holographic projection of Kim's research trajectory. The display showed a web of connections that looked more like an organic network than a linear progression of scientific development. The Zorn team uncovered a pattern of what humans called interdisciplinary innovation. Unlike most species that maintained strict boundaries between scientific disciplines, humans actively sought connections between seemingly unrelated fields. A musician might develop a breakthrough in medical imaging. An artist could provide critical insights into engineering challenges. Open source collaboration emerged as a particularly fascinating technological strategy. Humans created global networks where knowledge was shared freely, allowing for rapid iteration and collective problem-solving. Traditional competitive models suggested this approach should fail. Instead, it generated unprecedented technological acceleration. One remarkable example involved a global challenge in sustainable energy. Instead of a single centralized approach, humans created a distributed network of researchers, engineers, community leaders, and students. They shared resources, competed and collaborated simultaneously, and generated multiple innovative solutions. It's like watching a living, breathing technological organism, Kix7 observed. The neural annotation pulsed with a mixture of confusion and growing respect. Humans didn't just develop technology, they created ecosystems of innovation. The research expanded to explore human technological adaptation. When faced with significant challenges, humans didn't simply seek the most efficient solution. They reimagined entire systems of technological approach. A global pandemic led to unprecedented developments in medical technology, communication systems, and remote collaboration tools. Artificial intelligence research revealed another layer of human technological uniqueness. While most species approached AI as a tool for direct optimization, humans integrated ethical considerations, emotional intelligence, and complex philosophical questions into their technological development. Frugal innovation became a particular point of fascination. Humans could develop sophisticated technological solutions with limited resources, finding creative ways to solve complex problems. A team in a resource-constrained region might develop a medical diagnostic tool using minimal materials, demonstrating an incredible capacity for adaptive problem-solving. The Zorn researchers discovered that human technological development was fundamentally different from other species. It wasn't about creating the most advanced or efficient solution. It was about creating technologies that addressed human needs, solved complex challenges, and expanded the boundaries of possibility. Space exploration provided a perfect example of this unique approach. Where most species approached space exploration as a purely scientific or military endeavor, humans infused their technological efforts with a sense of wonder, collaboration, and collective aspiration. Their technological systems are not just about functionality. Kix7 concluded in the research log. They are expressions of human potential, creativity, and collective imagination. The team analyzed how humans approached technological failures. Unlike most species that would become discouraged by setbacks, humans saw failures as critical learning opportunities. Each technological challenge became a chance for growth, adaptation, and innovative thinking. Quantum computing research, renewable energy development, medical breakthroughs. In every field, humans demonstrated a unique approach to technological innovation. They combined scientific precision with creative imagination, creating solutions that transcended traditional technological boundaries. As the research vessel continued its silent observation, the Zorn team realized they were witnessing something extraordinary. Humanity's technological potential was not just about the tools they created. It was about their remarkable capacity to imagine, collaborate, and transform challenges into opportunities. The junior researchers' sensory clusters pulsed with excitement. Humans were not just developing technology, they were continuously reimagining the very concept of technological progress. In the vast silence of space, the Zorn researchers had discovered a civilization that turned technological limitations into portals of unprecedented potential. The social dynamics investigation represented the most complex challenge yet for the Zorn research team. Human social networks defied every computational model of interaction, communication, and collective organization that the researchers had developed over centuries of galactic observation. Kix7 approached the research with unprecedented intensity. Where most species maintained rigid social hierarchies, humans created fluid, dynamic networks that could rapidly reorganize around specific challenges or shared goals. Their social structures were less like fixed systems and more like living, breathing organisms. A breakthrough came through studying a small community's response to a local environmental challenge. In a remote coastal region, residents faced potential economic collapse due to changing ecological conditions. Instead of waiting for external intervention, the community developed a comprehensive strategy that combined scientific innovation, local knowledge, and collective action. Observe the communication patterns. Kick 7 instructed the junior researcher. The holographic display lit up with a complex web of interactions. Community members with diverse backgrounds, scientists, local business owners, educators, artists, created a collaborative network that transformed their collective challenge into an opportunity for innovation. The researchers discovered that human social networks operated on principles that seemed counterintuitive to traditional strategic models. Leadership was not a fixed position, but a dynamic role that shifted based on specific challenges. Individuals could seamlessly transition between being leaders, supporters, and innovators. Social media platforms provided a particularly fascinating area of study. These digital networks were not just communication tools, but complex social ecosystems. Humans used these platforms to share knowledge, mobilize collective action, support each other, and create global communities that transcended traditional geographical and cultural boundaries. Their social systems are adaptive information processing networks, the junior researcher observed. The sensory clusters vibrated with excitement. Humans didn't just communicate, they created living systems of collective intelligence. The team uncovered multiple layers of social complexity. Humans developed sophisticated mechanisms for conflict resolution that went far beyond simple negotiation. They created spaces for dialogue, empathy, and mutual understanding. Cultural practices emerged that supported social cohesion while simultaneously allowing for individual expression. Volunteer networks demonstrated another remarkable aspect of human social dynamics. During global challenges, humans would spontaneously organize support systems. A natural disaster could trigger global collaborative efforts that mobilized resources, shared information, and provided support across vast distances. Educational systems revealed the depth of human social learning strategies. Unlike most species with fixed educational models, humans created adaptive learning environments that encouraged critical thinking, creativity, and collaborative problem-solving. Students were not just recipients of information, but active participants in knowledge creation. Their social learning is a form of collective cognitive evolution, Kick 7 noted in the research log. The neural annotation pulsed with a mixture of admiration and analytical curiosity. The researchers studied how humans maintained social connections through technology and physical interaction. They didn't just communicate, they created meaningful relationships that supported individual and collective growth. Support networks emerged for various challenges: mental health, professional development, personal growth. Cultural diversity emerged as a critical component of human social strength. Instead of seeing differences as potential sources of conflict, humans increasingly developed strategies for cross-cultural understanding and collaboration. Global challenges were met with increasingly sophisticated approaches to collective problem-solving. A detailed analysis of social movements revealed another layer of complexity. Humans could rapidly organize around shared values, creating global networks that challenged existing power structures. These movements combined emotional intelligence, strategic communication, and collective action in ways that defy traditional political models. They transformed social challenges into opportunities for collective growth, the junior researcher observed. The social network visualizations looked less like structured diagrams and more like living, breathing ecosystems of human potential. The research expanded to explore how humans maintained individual identity while participating in collective systems. They didn't lose their unique characteristics in group interactions. Instead, they found ways to contribute their individual strengths to collective goals. As the research vessel continued its silent observation, the Zorn team realized they were witnessing something extraordinary. Human social dynamics were not just about survival or efficiency. They represented a sophisticated form of collective intelligence that continuously adapted, grew, and transformed. The junior researchers' sensory clusters pulsed with a profound sense of respect. Humanity was not just a collection of individuals. They were a dynamic, interconnected system of social potential, continuously learning, growing, and reimagining the possibilities of collective existence. In the vast silence of space, the Zorn researchers had discovered a civilization that turned social interaction into a powerful force of collective innovation. The galactic conflict erupted with a suddenness that caught most advanced civilizations unprepared. Multiple star systems teetered on the brink of total destruction. Ancient alliances crumbled and diplomatic channels dissolved into chaos. Traditional peacekeeping methods had failed, leaving a complex web of political, economic, and territorial tensions that seemed impossible to resolve. Kix-7 watched the developing crisis with growing tension. The Zorn Collective's initial analysis predicted complete systemic collapse. Multiple species were locked in a seemingly irreconcilable conflict, with technological capabilities that could obliterate entire planetary systems. Then humanity entered the scenario. The human approach defied every known diplomatic and strategic model. Where other species prepared for direct confrontation, humans began a complex series of interventions that seemed almost nonsensical to traditional galactic powers. Their first move involved creating unprecedented communication channels. Diplomatic teams comprised not just political leaders, but scientists, cultural experts, economists, and community representatives. They didn't approach the conflict as a zero-sum game, but as a complex problem requiring collaborative solution. Analyze communication patterns. Kix-7 instructed the junior researcher. The holographic display lit up with a network of interactions that looked more like a living ecosystem than a traditional diplomatic strategy. Humans introduced innovative conflict resolution techniques that combined technological solutions, cultural understanding, and creative problem-solving. They developed shared economic frameworks that provided mutual benefits to conflicting parties. Instead of seeking total victory, they sought sustainable compromise. A critical breakthrough came through an unexpected approach. While other species focused on military capabilities and territorial defense, humans introduced technologies and economic models that addressed the root causes of the conflict. They identified shared challenges, resource scarcity, environmental challenges, technological limitations, and created collaborative solutions. The research team discovered that human intervention was not about domination, but about transformation. They didn't just negotiate, they reimagined the entire context of the conflict. Economic platforms emerged that allowed different species to collaborate on critical challenges. Shared research initiatives, technology exchange programs, and innovative resource management strategies began to dissolve long-standing tensions. Their strategic approach is not linear, the junior researcher observed. It's more like a complex adaptive system that continuously transforms potential conflict into collaborative opportunity. Technological interventions played a crucial role. Humans developed communication technologies that allowed for unprecedented levels of cross-cultural understanding. Translation systems went beyond simple language conversion, capturing nuanced cultural contexts and emotional subtexts. The most surprising element was the human approach to military strategy. Where most species viewed military power as a primary conflict resolution tool, humans developed sophisticated de-escalation technologies. They created systems that could identify potential conflict points and introduce collaborative solutions before tensions could escalate. Humanitarian support became a critical component of their intervention. While providing technological and economic support, humans also developed comprehensive support systems for populations affected by the conflict. They addressed psychological trauma, supported community rebuilding, and created platforms for cross-cultural dialogue. Kix-7's research logs captured the unprecedented nature of human intervention. They do not see conflict as a problem to be solved. The annotation read, but as an opportunity for collective growth and understanding. The conflict resolution process revealed the depth of human strategic thinking. They didn't just address immediate challenges, but created frameworks for long-term collaborative development. Economic models, technological exchanges, and cultural understanding platforms emerged that promised to transform the entire galactic political landscape. As the crisis began to stabilize, the Zorn researchers watched in amazement. Humanity had not just prevented total destruction. They had created a new model of galactic cooperation that seemed to emerge from a completely different strategic paradigm. The junior researchers' sensory clusters pulsed with a mixture of excitement and profound respect. Humans had approached a seemingly impossible challenge with a combination of creativity, empathy, and strategic innovation that defied all traditional models. They are not just solving the conflict, the researcher noted, they are reimagining the entire concept of galactic cooperation. In the vast silence between star systems, humanity had demonstrated a form of strategic intelligence that was less about power and more about potential. They had turned a moment of potential destruction into an opportunity for collective transformation. The Zorn research team realized they were witnessing something extraordinary. Humanity was not just a participant in galactic affairs. They were becoming a transformative force that could reshape entire systems of interaction, understanding, and collaborative potential. The moment of profound revelation arrived quietly, almost imperceptibly. Years of research had led the Zorn team to a comprehensive understanding that challenged everything they knew about intelligent life, strategic potential, and the very nature of collective intelligence. KIC-7 assembled the complete research compilation, a monumental task that represented thousands of cosmic cycles of observation, analysis, and contemplation. The junior researcher watched with intense focus as holographic projections captured the intricate web of human potential. "We are not just observing a species," KIC-7 announced, their neural clusters vibrating with a mixture of excitement and intellectual humility. "We are witnessing an entirely new model of evolutionary intelligence." The research revealed that human potential could not be measured by traditional metrics of technological advancement, military capability, or economic power. Their true strength lay in an unprecedented capacity for adaptive transformation, collective imagination, and the ability to continuously reimagine their own potential. Psychological studies showed how humans transformed personal and collective challenges into sources of growth. Where most species would become limited by adversity, humans seem to use difficulties as catalysts for innovation, empathy, and expanded understanding. Technological development emerged as a perfect illustration of this unique approach. Humans didn't just create tools, they developed technologies that expanded the boundaries of human potential. Each innovation was simultaneously a practical solution and an expression of collective creativity. Their social systems defied every known model of organizational structure. Leadership was fluid, adaptive, and emerged organically around specific challenges. Communities could rapidly reorganize, share knowledge, and generate collective solutions that transcended traditional hierarchical limitations. Observe the complexity, the junior researcher noted, rotating a holographic representation of human social networks. The display looked less like a structured diagram and more like a living, breathing ecosystem of collective intelligence. The team's most profound discovery centered on human adaptability. They didn't just respond to challenges, they actively sought opportunities for growth, understanding, and collective transformation. Every limitation became a potential portal for innovation. Cultural diversity emerged as a critical source of strength. Instead of viewing differences as potential sources of conflict, humans increasingly developed strategies for cross-cultural understanding, collaborative problem-solving, and mutual growth. Emotional intelligence proved to be a sophisticated form of strategic adaptation. Humans integrated emotional understanding with logical reasoning, creating approaches to challenges that combined analytical precision with deep empathy and creative imagination. Their intelligence is not linear. KIC-7 concluded in the comprehensive research log. It is a dynamic, adaptive system that continuously evolves, learns, and transforms. The research expanded beyond traditional boundaries of scientific investigation. Humans approached knowledge as a collaborative, ongoing process of discovery. Scientific disciplines blended, cultural understanding deepened, and collective potential expanded in ways that defy traditional computational models. Conflict resolution strategies revealed another layer of their unique intelligence. Humans didn't seek total victory, but sustainable solutions that addressed underlying challenges. They created frameworks for dialogue, mutual understanding, and collaborative growth. The Zorn researchers discovered that human potential could not be contained within existing galactic models of intelligence. They were not just another species to be categorized and understood. They represented a fundamentally new approach to collective existence. Technological innovation, social dynamics, psychological resilience. Each area of research revealed a common thread. Humans possessed an extraordinary capacity to transform challenges into opportunities, limitations into portals of potential. We are witnessing the emergence of a new form of intelligence, the junior researcher observed. The sensory clusters pulsed with a profound sense of respect and wonder. The comprehensive research compilation represented more than a scientific document. It was a testament to a species that refused to be limited by existing definitions of potential. Humans didn't just adapt to their environment, they actively reimagined and transformed it. As the research vessel continued its silent observation, the Zorn team realized they had discovered something extraordinary. Humanity was not just a civilization to be studied. They were a dynamic, evolving force of collective potential that could reshape entire systems of understanding. In the vast silence between star systems, a new understanding was emerging. Humanity represented not just a species, but a profound expression of adaptive, creative, transformative potential. The universe, the researchers concluded, was about to become a much more interesting place. The grand presentation chamber of the Zorn Collective's Central Research Institute hummed with an unusual tension. Typically, research presentations followed strict protocols of computational precision and detached analysis. Today would be different. KIC-7 stepped forward, the comprehensive research compilation hovering as a complex holographic projection. Centuries of observational data, millions of computational hours, and a profound journey of discovery would be distilled into this single moment. Distinguished council members, KIC-7 began. Our investigation of humanity represents more than a standard research project. It is a fundamental reimagining of intelligence itself. The holographic display came to life, showing intricate networks of human interactions, technological developments, and social dynamics. Each visualization challenged the established understanding of intelligent life in the galaxy. The first section explored human psychological resilience. Council members watched as case studies demonstrated how humans transformed personal and collective challenges into sources of unprecedented innovation. A young inventor who lost mobility developed revolutionary assistive technologies. A community facing economic collapse created sustainable economic models that benefited multiple stakeholders. Traditional threat assessment models are inadequate, KIC-7 explained. Humans do not merely survive challenges. They reimagine the entire context of limitation. Technological development analyses followed. The display showed how human innovation emerged from unexpected sources, garage workshops, collaborative online platforms, interdisciplinary research teams. Unlike most species with centralized research structures, humans created dynamic, fluid networks of innovation that could rapidly adapt to emerging challenges. The junior researcher added critical context. Their technological approach is not about creating the most advanced tool. It is about addressing complex human needs through creative, collaborative problem-solving. Social dynamics represented the most complex section of the presentation. Council members watched in fascination as human social networks were revealed as living, breathing systems of collective intelligence. Leadership was fluid, adaptive, moving between individuals based on specific challenges. Communication transcended traditional hierarchical limitations. Diplomatic intervention strategies formed a critical part of the presentation. The Galactic Conflict Resolution case study demonstrated humanity's unique approach. Instead of seeking total victory, humans created frameworks for mutual understanding, addressing root causes of conflict through technological, economic, and cultural innovations. They do not approach challenges as problems to be solved, Kick 7 noted, but as opportunities for collective growth and transformation. Cultural diversity emerged as a profound source of strength. Humans didn't view differences as potential sources of conflict, but as opportunities for deeper understanding and collaborative potential. Their social systems continuously evolved, integrating new perspectives and transforming existing structures. The most profound revelation came through their approach to collective intelligence. Humans integrated emotional understanding with logical reasoning in ways that transcended traditional computational models. Empathy, creativity, and adaptive thinking became powerful strategic tools. Council members shifted uncomfortably. The presentation challenged fundamental assumptions about intelligence, potential, and evolutionary development. We are not recommending classification, Kick 7 continued. We are proposing a fundamental reevaluation of our understanding of intelligent life. The final section of the presentation focused on potential galactic implications. Humanity represented more than a species to be studied. They were a transformative force capable of reshaping existing systems of interaction, understanding, and collaborative potential. The junior researcher delivered the concluding statement. Humanity is not just another civilization. They are a dynamic, evolving expression of collective potential that can transform entire systems of knowledge and interaction. Silence filled the chamber. Centuries of established research protocols were being challenged by a fundamentally different understanding of intelligence. The lead council member finally spoke. Your recommendation? Kick 7's response was immediate and clear. Engagement, collaboration, understanding. Humanity represents a new model of collective intelligence that we cannot predict, but must absolutely learn from. As the presentation concluded, the holographic displays continued to pulse with the complex, beautiful networks of human potential. The universe, the Zorn researchers knew, was about to become a much more interesting place. The research was complete, but humanity's story was just beginning.